Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. We have reached the 9th hadith from the book of Al-Arba'un Al-Nawawi that was compiled by Imam Al-Nawawi rahimahullah. عن أبي هريرة رضي الله عنه قال سمعت رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم يقول ما نهيتكم عنه فاجتنبوه وما أمرتكم به ففعلوا منه ما استطعتم فإنما أهلك الذين من قبلكم كثرة مسائلهم واختلافهم على أنبيائهم رواه البخاري ومسلم. This hadith that was narrated on the authority of Abu Hurairah radiyallahu anhu, which is mentioned in both books of Sahih al-Bukhari and Muslim, that Nabi sallallahu alayhi wasallam said, "Ma nahaytukum anhu fajtanibuh." If the things that I have forbidden you from, stay away from. Those are the things that we find in Islam as haram, that we stay away from. وَمَا أَمَرْتُكُمْ بِهِ فَفَعَلُوا. And what I have commanded you to do is do them, right? And then he continued on, he finished with مِنْهُ مَسْتَطَعْتُمْ, that is as much as you can. And فَإِنَّمَا أَهْلَكَ الَّذِينَ مِنْ قَبْلِكُمْ كَثْرَةُ مَسَائِلِهِمْ. That is indeed the thing that destroyed the nations that came before you. The main reason, there are two main reasons that Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam mentioned. The very first one is too much questioning, and the second one وَاخْتِلَافُهُمْ عَلَى أَنْبِيَائِهِمْ, that they differed from their prophets. And in terms of too much questioning, we all know the things that is mentioned in the Quran, the story of Banu Israel, where when they were told to slaughter a cow, a baqarah, that they asked too much question in terms of what ma lawnuha, and then they asked, what its age should be or how it should look, etc., etc. And the more question they asked, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala made it hard upon them. So also in the Quran it is very clearly mentioned to not ask questions when the Quran is being revealed. لا تسألوا عن أشياء إن تبد لكم تسؤكم. That do not ask questions when the Quran is being revealed, and Allah would make it harder upon you. So what type of questions are these? That is when we are being commanded to do something. For example, let's say for example we are taught to pray salah in so and so manner, right? We start questioning on why is Dhuhr 4 rak'ah? Why is Asr 4 rak'ah? Or why is so and so this way, that way, etc., where it is beyond our minds to comprehend. And these type of questioning, it what misguides people and takes what we talked previously about inhiraf, or misguidance or deviation from their deen on the previous nations. And this is one of the main things that took them to misguided places, that deviated them away from their deen. The second thing is وَاخْتِلَافُهُمْ عَلَى أَنْبِيَائِهِمْ, that they differed from their prophets. That means when their prophets commanded them to do so and so, they thought that they were way better. And that is something we find even within Islam as the Khawarij. The mentalities of Khawarij, the very first Khawarij that we find was during the time of Nabi sallallahu alayhi wasallam, where they went to Nabi sallallahu alayhi wasallam, whom we learn just and the whole deen from, and they went to him and they said, "I'dil ya Rasulullah, astaghfirullah." They went to him and they said, be just ya Rasulullah. And these were the very first Khawarij who left out of Islam and they became Khawarij. And likewise were the ones who came afterwards, where they thought that they knew the deen better than what Allah and Rasul told. That they started bringing deen from their mantiq, from their logic, where they be like, let's say for example, instead of or they be like, this guy is so and so is kafir, so and so is etc., etc., even though nothing is mentioned about kufr in hadith. But if there are things that is mentioned in hadith, that is different. But when there is nothing mentioned from Allah and Rasul about so and so culture or about so and so act, they themselves make it so hardened upon themselves, and they try to make things away, and they think that logically they can follow Islam. For example, if you talk to them about Hajj, they be like, it's better I just do sadaqah of that money and I don't go for Hajj because I feel that will benefit more people. And these are things where that takes someone, this is the way shaitan deviates someone from deen, where what is the best is known by Allah and His Rasul. So Allah knows the best. And when Allah has commanded us to do Hajj, and we think that, oh, giving sadaqah to so and so logically would sound better. No, it is not the case. Maybe the sadaqah that you give is useless. Maybe that person never uses it properly. Maybe the Hajj would have turned you into a better person, which we don't know. So there are so many things that is from ilmul ghaib, the things that are not seen, that we don't know. And our role as a Muslim is that we follow the deen of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala revealed in His Quran and the Sunnah of Nabi sallallahu alayhi wasallam as much as we can, to the best. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make us from the ones who are righteous, that follow the path of Allah and His Rasul.